It's a new hour.
Yep, we pulled the pin on the grenade last hour, and let's see what happens.
You did good. Well, didn't take long. Here they come. Go ahead, caller. Welcome to the show.
How are we doing?
Well,
good morning.
I know I'm going to catch a bunch of maybe poo over this, but have you guys seen any of this stuff about the Sewershed surveillance program?
You mean watershed?
Well, no, I'm talking Sewershed. I actually had a long conversation with a gentleman that's running it. It's the University of Missouri and DNR and Health and Senior Services are running it. They're basically tracking our feces in a few treatment plants. It was developed for COVID initially.
Oh, it's contact tracing.
Excuse me?
It's contact tracing.
Yeah, basically for the communities, yeah. But it's through the sewer, it's through the wastewater system.
Okay.
It's the Sewershed surveillance project. You can look it up online. I posted it on the Camden County citizens page. A lot of flack, obviously. People think, they're tracking you. Obviously, people down here don't want that, and a lot of places don't want that. But there's a lot of good education if you look through that project. I didn't know if you guys had heard about that or any thoughts on it.
Well, what are they doing with it? What are they tracking? What data are they collecting?
They're just
initially it was COVID initially, but the project has. There's all kinds of things they can track, and I was talking with a gentleman about it. They were the ones that were kind of discovering last year when northern Missouri got hit bad with COVID. They were kind of the ones sounding the horn saying it was coming based on the results they were seeing in the sewer systems. They were tracking this so much that you can see these, and then they map it with days, and you can see patterns, and up around I-70, you can see where COVID kind of came down I-70, and then how it kind of worked its way out in these smaller communities as the days went on. We didn't have that data when it first happened, and when you look back on it, you can kind of see these stories that you didn't have, right when it happened. But then you can kind of maybe look into the future too and look at, and see these patterns is basically what they're forming. But we've talked about other diseases you could track and other things you can track. And it's quite the science. But
no doubt. They're tracking our DNA?
Well, no, not every place is, but if you go to the website, the Sewershed Surveillance Project, it's it's a MU project, and like I said, DNR and Health and Senior Services. It's got a scary name, but they're doing some great science, some amazing science. And I didn't know, I guess it's been going on for. I don't know. I think over a year now. They've got over 100 sewers treatment facilities that are they're working with, and they track. They've got more mutations they found than just the Omicron. There was like the Lota, the Delta, the Gamma. They found stuff, the Epsilon version. There's just a lot more data that doesn't make it on the mainstream news and make it on all this stuff, but it's out there. Like you said to that last caller, if they're willing to look, it's out there.
Yeah. Hang on a second, Sean. I want to read this. The Sewershed Surveillance Project tracks the amount of viral genetic material in the wastewater and has become an emerging method of monitoring trends of the virus in communities, providing early awareness of new or worsening outbreaks. Why did you think you would get a lot of flack for bringing this up this morning, is my question.
Well, I put it on the Facebook, and a lot of people are just anti-government right away, thinking that they're tracking our poop now and that's too much overreach. But and I get that. I totally get it. But this is more of a communal thing and kind of seeing what the masses what they're finding is they've found stuff where people work at a certain plant and they're getting certain chemicals in their digestion, and then they're excreting this and they're finding that, and that's leading to them solving other issues in communities. If we would have had this when the TCE was a big issue around here, we would know a lot more than we know, and knowledge is power, right?
You're right. It's fascinating that they're doing this. I don't guess I was really aware of it. I think when people look at these sorts of things, we can sit down and say that, well, at first, it's always the way it is. At first, we had great intentions. We're going to use this to help everybody out. But I think that we have all been around long enough to realize that at some point in time, somebody in government, some bureaucrat, is going to come along and figure out a way to use this against us. Am I wrong for thinking that way? Or is that not? I mean, we have some history of that, don't we?
Yes,
yeah,
information
I believe
can be
so,
used
but I think that's
bad.
where we also, the checks and balances, you can't have any one point sway anything too much. It's always that checks and balances, which is, kept us going. I don't know. It's playing out now on a big scale, but if we didn't have the checks and balances, you wouldn't even have NATO talking now on these bigger issues, It's
Sure. Checks and balances are great. It's the way we're set up. And, I kind of wonder, you said you put it on Facebook. I wonder if, about every 6 months, somebody asks what kind of new restaurant we need around here. Maybe they could track everybody's poo and find out what we're not getting in our diet.
Oh, easily. That's the beauty of it. We were speaking about deficiencies in diet.
Wait till you get a letter in the mail, Sean, that says you have a polyp.
There you go.
Now, that's pretty specific right there.
That'd be when you're sending in your own sample.
I don't know. They're tracking our DNA through. They can find me all throughout the network.
Yeah, sure. Oh, geez.
Anybody that got a COVID test, your DNA's on record.
PR's walking in with a Ziploc, and they're like, "This isn't how we take samples."
We need something a little more in depth.
You guys do great work.
Thank you. I'm glad you're calling in. Thanks. Yeah. There he goes. That was fun. That was fun. Actually, I did Google it, and there is a pretty good one here on Story Maps. The Sewershed, one-word surveillance project, COVID-19 tracking tool, a collaborative effort. This project is a collaborative effort between Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services and Missouri Department of Natural Resources and the University of Missouri. 3 people I don't trust right off the bat here about the project. The genetic material from the virus that causes COVID can be present in human waste even when individuals have no symptoms.
Yeah, well, Dr. Carla Dean Graves was out talking about this stuff, and she's in Kansas City and done a lot of different freedom and liberty work with her. But anyhow, she was pretty much up on this, and that she was one of the only people I've heard talk about. It's not an issue everyone wants to talk about, but evidently, if you have COVID or any virus, when you defecate, it really sheds a lot of that out of your body. And then when she was talking about, when you flush the toilet, all of those things are fly up out of there, and that's one place you got to be careful, I guess.
What a deal.
Danger everywhere. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.